Okay, so yesterday my wife sent me a video of a Joe Rogan clip covering this particular song that just came out by one Oliver Anthony. Now, I knew of this young fellow from another song that made him very famous before called Richmond, North of Richmond. And this man is a bit of a modern poet, proper artist. He was able to, in part thanks to Joe Rogan's advice, is my understanding, he was able to refuse to take any connection to any producers or anything like that, so he is alone working with his band on his own terms. Now, this song that's just come out called Scornful Woman is a song clearly about a divorce settlement between a man and a woman, where the woman takes or demands 50% of all of the man's wealth. And there's some degree of speculation as to whether this is his wife or not, or anything like that. Now, it's impossible really to know, but Joe Rogan himself seems to think without question that this is a personal story. It is believable that this would be, so I'm going to operate on this particular assumption. Now, I'm not going to play the song because I do not know whether, I know I don't have a right to play the song, so to speak, from a copyright perspective. I don't know if this may trigger some things on YouTube or whatever, but you can go listen to the song yourself, which I recommend because I think it's very well written and very well performed, and it's very gritty. It's very evident that the work was done by them, by him, and not by some faceless producer that makes every song sound the same so it belongs on the radio. Anyway, so the reason I wanted to record this particular video is the following. This is something that tortures me. Not divorce per se in my life. I figured things out and I trust the wife, and I suspect the wife trusts me, so we are in a good position. We've been together for about 20 years now. We got 5 kids together. I'm not really sure that there's any chance of this ending. Everything is possible, but I think it's extremely unlikely. Both of us take contracts very seriously. However, us having 5 children makes things difficult. My anecdotal observation of younger people is that they don't even know what a contract looks like. They've signed 3 millions of them, all of these fake contracts that you sign with your local internet provider or your electricity provider, which are these 27 pages of 5-size font disclaimers and waivers in which it says that if anything fails, it's your responsibility. They can raise the prices on everything for whatever reason they please, whenever they please, without notifying you, that sort of stuff, right? So this is now the average contract. And then all contracts, including these, are completely non-negotiable. There's nothing you could change. So the cultural concept of the contract has been completely destroyed in the Western modern world. The concept of the handshake is valueless entirely now. Fraudsters everywhere, nobody keeping their word for anything, totally normal, right? But now this has, of course, infected the marriage contract as well. Now, the marriage contract is very special. I would say it's different from everything else because it's a binding contract for life. It has no end, right? Now, whether you're a believer or a non-believer, this doesn't seem to make a difference at all in terms of how many of these contracts get dissoluted so flippantly. Between irreconcilable differences and, we're a bit unhappy and this and that and the other, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, this contract doesn't have a term. So the moment in which you sign it, you sign your life away. Like, there is no... yes, but what if my husband mistreats me? Yes, but what if my wife passive aggressors me to death? You gotta work it out, man. This is how this should work. Thing is, what I think doesn't matter. Because in practice, this doesn't work. This doesn't happen. And so presumably, Anthony's story works as follows. In his own words, broke as a joke for most of his life. Together with his wife, they move in a trailer, something like that. And they raise 3 children. And then, but he's a fairly tortured man, alcoholism, all sorts of problems. Then he releases this song, becomes mega famous. This would be Richmond, north of Richmond. And now apparently she files for divorce. That is the assumption with which I'm operating now. This may all be false. But it still applies conceptually. Right now, in American law, it's possible for the wife to essentially take him to court and ask for 50% of all of his wealth, which is insanity. It's so obviously wrong. Right? The mere fact that this type of law exists, and this is an outcome that's possible, clearly gives an incentive to dissolute this. To break up this contract, to tear it. This is a problem, man. And the reason I'm talking about all of this is because this seems to be endemic. Like finding anybody my age that's still together with their wife, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. It does happen. There's a few, but there's very few with vaguely healthy families. So me raising 5, right? 2 of them boys. How in the heck do I teach them how to navigate this maze? Because I don't know myself. Right? I have found an honorable woman, not a scornful one. Though all women are scornful to some extent. That's their only weapon, right? Passive aggression is their only weapon. They don't have others. I don't know. Because everybody can do this. This can be everybody's story. And again, anecdotally, but apparently even statistically, I don't know. It's difficult to believe anything these days. But yeah, this is just factual. This happens everywhere, all the time, in any country. What do you tell the boys? Go seek out a good girl, get together, make a big family. That's the ideal scenario, right? That's how you want to live. That's what brings the most happiness, certainly does to me. But how do you do it when everybody within the machinery can immediately go to the state and leverage the state's force for their own benefit in order to destroy the marriage in 45 seconds or less? This should not be possible, but it is. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't know, kiddos. I do not know how you're supposed to live. But I do think it's going to be darn difficult for you people to find a future. Sorry.